So, would you love to manifest your soulmate? I thought because we're 14 days out from Valentine's Day, today is February 1st. And if you're like my husband, you don't know this, but Valentine's Day is February 14th. So, it took me exactly 14 days to manifest my soulmate 10 years ago. So, I thought this is the perfect day to tell you exactly how I did it. So, my name is Erin Werley. I'm the best selling author of One Truth, One Law, I Am, I Create. I channel God and I teach you how to do the same thing because we are all one, we are all connected, and you are more powerful than you've ever imagined. So, about 10, 11 years ago, it was 2010. It was October of 2010. And I had just gotten out of a relationship a few months earlier that was horrible. My whole life, since I started school, basically, I had been bullied horribly. And I didn't have any idea how to stand up for myself. At this point in my life in 2010, I was not channeling God. I didn't even know that God existed. I didn't know that there was more to this world than what we could see, what we could touch, what we could hear, the physical world. To me, that was all that there was. But I knew I did not want to be in another relationship with another guy that treated me like crap. I was tired of it. I was fed up. But every guy that I had ever dated treated me like crap. And I didn't know at this point that I had internal programming that was causing me to attract the same kind of person. I just thought that's what there was out there, right? I thought all guys must be like this. And but I was tired. I was fed up. I said, if guys are like this, then I'm done. But a few days later, I said, but I really want my soulmate. So what I did was I had never like done anything self-help. I had never, again, I was just totally like normal girl, but with zero self-esteem at this point in my life. And I was 28 years old. Okay. So I went to Borders because Borders still existed then. And I was so embarrassed because I was going to go to the relationship section. And I did. I walked over there and I wished that I had a paper bag over my head. I was so embarrassed. And so I spent like literally 10 seconds there. I didn't read any of the book covers. There was a book with a hot pink spine. And so I grabbed that one and I rushed to the counter to check out. And I was again horribly embarrassed. And I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be doing this, but I also didn't want to spend my life alone. And I didn't want to spend my life with somebody who treated me like crap. So I thought, I better go to the experts, right? So whoever was the writer of this hot pink book, that was going to be my expert because I was not going to let anybody see me looking for this book. So anyway, I checked out, I took it home, and I read it. And I don't really remember what was in it. And I think a lot of it was probably misleading and not very good information. But there was one thing in there that completely transformed my life. It changed everything for me. And my life has not been the same. I have not been the same. I mean, I opened the floodgates of creation, of manifestation, of using my thoughts and how it all works. So, this is what it told me to do. It said, don't imagine what you would like your soulmate to look like. And this was revolutionary for me because I had always imagined, either a specific person or sort of the sort of person, like the sort of looks that looked good to me, right? But this advice was, you imagine a blank canvas. So instead of focusing on what they look like or what they're like, so you're not even imagining what this person is like. And this is really sort of when you're doing manifestation work or creation work in your mind, you're not supposed to be directing it. You're supposed to be saying, this is how I want to feel. this is sort of the general idea of how I want to feel and what it is that I want. But I want this or something better, right? Because you don't want to limit the universe and say, I want the guy that looks exactly like this, or I want the house that looks exactly like this, because then there might be something better that you're blocking. So, anyway, so it said, don't imagine what he looks like at all. Instead, you want to imagine all the things that you want to do with your ideal partner. So for me, my previous relationship had been somebody that wanted to be out at bars every single night. I'm talking 7 nights a week, 365 days a year. And for like I think the bar was closed on Christmas, so that was like like a crisis situation. Like that's how insane the relationship I was in was. But anyway, so that was not me. I didn't want to really be in a bar any night of the week. And I was not in the beginning of the relationship. I did go to the bar a lot more than I wanted to, but then towards the end, I just didn't at all. Like never, like the last year we were together. But anyway, um, so the idea, like in my past, I had always conformed to what the person I was in a relationship with liked, their tastes, their hobbies, their preferences, their food choices, whatever the things that they enjoyed and that lit them up. I tried to become that person and be part of their world. And so this was revolutionary for me. Instead, I was going to create someone who loved to do the sorts of things I love to do. So I got out a pen and paper and wrote down all the things that if I could create my ideal partner, what would we do together? And so I wrote down things like we like to sit on the couch and read books together. And we like to sit in front of a fire. We like to go on walks together. We like to cook dinner together. And the biggest thing for me was I wanted somebody I could talk to. My whole life, I felt like I was hiding my truth deep inside, even though I didn't know anything about the mysteries of the universe at this point. I still felt like my truth was stifled. Like I couldn't be my real self around other people because they would judge me. Like so I always tried to act not as smart as I was, or like I was always afraid to say I think I know the answer, because I didn't want to be wrong. It was just like I would never raise my hand in school. And even when I really thought I knew the answer, I was like, no way, I'm not taking the chance. And so anyway, so I did this and I started, and they told me in this book to visualize, which was simple as closing my eyes and imagine myself doing these things, sitting on the couch, reading a book with this person that was just like basically like a gray shape, right? But I felt really excited. It was like, yeah, the floodgates just opened up. And so I did it. I didn't do it a lot either. I really didn't. I was a waitress at the time, and and I probably did it maybe like 2 minutes a day. And I don't even think I did it all 14 days. I really don't. The book didn't tell me how long it was going to take, but I really, it was sort of a situation where I was really detached from the outcome because it seemed a little kooky, but doing it for that 2 minutes a day did feel really good. It felt amazing to imagine that maybe this situation could exist. Oh, another big thing was I imagined us having little kids and loving having little kids and taking care of them together, and yeah, things like that. And I imagined that my husband was kind and wonderful and so loving and so interested in me, and I was interested in him. So it wasn't just literally the things we did, it was the way we felt about each other. It was the whole package of what you would want from like your dream relationship. So anyway, 14 days later, I was waitressing and another waitress came up and she asked me if I would take her table. Now, I was always a hard worker, and so I would always take tables from other people that wanted to leave work early. So I said, and it was really weird though, because this girl usually wanted to take tables from people too, and she never would have offered me a table, but she said, I really want to leave. I just want to go home today. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll take it. And so I walked over and as soon as I saw the table, it was my husband Phil was sitting there and the seat across him was blank. And I thought, oh, he's so cute, you know? And I thought, oh, his girlfriend must be in the bathroom. And so I walked up to him and I said, hi, I'm Erin. What can I get you to drink? And he said to me, and he just looked at me, and he said, what do you want me to drink? And and I thought he was being like really cocky and really like he was, whatever. But I found out later he was just really nervous, so that's why it came out that way. But anyway, so I went and I got him his drinks, and it turned out it was his friend Nick with him. It was not a girl. And there was just something about this table. The energy scared me. It scared me. I had never felt anything like this before. And I was afraid of them. And well, I was afraid of people in general, I'll be honest. But this was different. It felt big, and I was afraid though, because I had been hurt by every previous guy in my life. And so that's why the fear was there. But anyway, I think this video is a lot longer than I intended it to be, but I wanted to share with you the story because I want you to know that it's possible. You get to decide what your relationship looks like. And if you aren't choosing, then it's being created on autopilot for you by the universe based on all of your prior programming. And that's not what any of us want. We want to create our own lives. So I want you to know this is real. So at that point, I could have chosen to say, you know what, this guy he's trying to hit on me. I don't like him, blah, blah, blah. But instead I was like, okay, what's going on here? Why does this feel so weird? And anyway, the ice was totally broken because at the time I had been a vegan for years, and he said, I was taking their order and he said, well, I'm a vegan, what can you recommend? And it was like that, for some reason that broke down my block, my wall just completely melted because I had never met another vegan. Again, this was in 2010 and it was a lot different than it is now. Now I feel like a good quarter of the world is a vegan, but back then it did not feel that way to me. And I was just like, I was so interested. And I said to him, well, I'm vegan too. And this is like, we literally have the best vegan sandwich I've ever tasted here. And we were off to the races. I mean, I was like glued to that table the rest of the night. They stayed till closing. And I was thinking, I started to get really nervous because I mean, like, we were just like obviously in love with each other, like immediately. Like there was as soon as he said that and my walls came down, it was like we were magnetized and there was no doubt. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to, if he doesn't ask for my number, I'm going to have to ask him because I can't let him leave. This is it. And I just knew it was, I don't know how to describe it except just absolute knowing and certainty. So anyway, he asked for my number. He asked to see my phone, which I locked because I would carry it around in my waitress pocket and it would bang around and otherwise it would start pressing number like keys itself. So, and then he was very disappointed that it was locked because he wanted to put his number in my phone, or he wanted to call his phone with my number. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a long time ago. Anyway, So I think the main lesson here is it's incredibly, incredibly, incredibly easy to manifest your soulmate if you just start visualizing what it is you want in a partner and don't settle for less. But here's the kicker, okay? It's the receiving part. Because I could have easily just decided that this wasn't what I wasn't used to. I wasn't used to guys hitting on me, and that's what he was doing. I was not used to that at all. Probably because of my programming. Anyway. So I could, and it scared me. It was weird. So I could have decided, this is weird. I don't know what's going on. And I could have shut down and I could have missed receiving my soulmate. So I think it's really, really important. And this goes for manifesting anything, but especially with your soulmate. Understand that meeting them is going to be so different than all the other times you've met people. And our persona wants to keep us safe. And so while you're doing this process, just be really open. If somebody comes into your life and you have no idea why or how, just be open, right? Don't slam the door shut on any opportunity. And we found out later that it was so just magical how the universe threw us together. We found out later that I found out later that he and his friend had actually come to my restaurant the day before during lunch, and they looked at the menu and said, "This looks really good, but we should probably come back tomorrow night." And of course, I hadn't been working then. It's like just the universe was directing us, you know. It was this beautiful symphony, and we were just players in it. And it turns out the really cool thing is he had been working on manifesting his soulmate, and we both like fit each other's list perfectly. It's beautiful how that worked out. And of course, 10 years, 11 years later, we're still together and still blissfully happy, although everything isn't perfect, but we do love talking to each other. Talking to each other lights us up in a way that nothing else does. And I think that that's how we have really maintained our strong bond. So for me, that's a non-negotiable in a soulmate. And I think that you should consider that being a non-negotiable for you too. Because at our core, we all want to be heard, right? And so if we are creating somebody who we don't want to spend our time with or that we don't want to talk to, then we're probably not going to find that happiness. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and I'm sending you a ton of love and happy early Valentine's Day.